Hello everyone, and welcome back to my server Let's Play. And yeah, as you can see, first off, a lot of changes have happened from the last episode. Probably the most notable one that you guys are noticing right now is not just the surroundings, but also in that my audio has drastically changed, and pretty much for the better. It's now in higher quality to match up with the video. I got a new microphone, the blue snowball. As you can see, the village area is pretty much almost complete. I still gotta remove that fence, like put some sort of beach side in here, but yeah, we got village people and they're hanging out in here. Yo buddy, grab me a bottle of Awkward, and yeah, I'll take some of that pants too. Oh, yeah, I know, seems legit, right? all the iron in my inventory. Yeah, that's from my iron farm, which is now fully functional, and everything's cleaned up and such, and I hate my render distance, but whatever. Yeah. So, iron farm is all working, villagers moved, so all six, wait, no, yeah, all 6 spawning cells are working and producing golems and iron and so on, so yeah. Now, actually, one thing is, I actually already recorded like half of this episode yesterday, but later on I found out that Dxtory didn't record my mic audio because I set it up beforehand, and apparently the settings got unsaved, and it just recorded my game audio twice, and if that makes any sense. But basically, this is what you guys missed, and was just me building this, and nothing much, but what I was talking about and stuff was something that I'm very sad that I lost, but I'll talk about it again. But anyways, as you can see, I feel, I don't know, this kind of takes the shape of that industrial look that I was considering for my base. Like before I started planting putting leaf blocks all over the place, I was considering making my base look very industrial looking, and that almost looks kind of industrial to me, and I don't know, it looks way better than before. I think, like, it looks like an actual support and not just some triangle put next to the base. So yeah. So, one of the things we'll be doing in this episode is moving out the base, as I was trying to do before, with that, and the lost recording, of course. And yeah, we already got an Enderman up there. I can't look at him, darn it. But anyways, as you can see from this angle, the base doesn't look very good. It's very jagged or whatever, and yeah. So, in this episode, we are going to fix that. And just because it is the star of the show, and for it to be ugly is not a good thing, so yeah. I'll go ahead and get the building materials, put away all the iron, and we'll get started. Well, here's a new design, and I definitely have to say it is definitely foover than before. There's the unfooved side, and there's the fooved side. I didn't do the bottom of it though. And you can definitely see that's quite a big difference, and it definitely does help. It still feels like it's a bit rough, but I think it fits, really, for what we're doing. So yeah, this is the new design we're gonna do, so let's get over there. I would end a pearl over there, but I want to get rid of this dirt tower I made. So guys, one thing that I've been, wanting to talk about as a subject in one of these videos, and originally it was going to be its own video, but might as well go ahead and use it for here, and that's the topic of server map resets. What my personal experience with map resets, and I'm also curious, like, your guys' experience. Now, first off, don't jump to any conclusions that anything about this server, because obviously it's not going anywhere, and the map's sticking for as long as possible, and thanks to all the backups, and I think that's forever, and I think as long as possible basically equals forever, and but anyways, I guess it's like I went ahead and actually went ahead and looked to see if anybody's actually done a video like into why do server maps reset so much. And maybe in the future I'll do some sort of dedicated video on this, but for now let's just do it in the LP, make it a bit more interesting. And yeah, I guess I should start out my story with the Elemental Animation server, which was really the first server that I extremely actively played on. They were using the grief prevention plugin, which, and if you guys don't know by now, I freaking love it. And it's literally the best anti-grief plugin out there in my personal opinion. But one thing is my experience with their server. I was building my first base on the top of a mountain of an extreme hills biome, and yeah, that's kind of where it started. And I was building along, and about like about a month later, the server map reset. Now, at first I was very mad, but a few days I came back because I was like, okay, it's obvious this map has been around for a while. There were tons of creations. I had to go ahead and so I kind of got off track. So let me get back to that. Basically, on their server, and like after map reset, I looked at it and I was like, okay, and it's obvious that the map had a lot of stuff in it, and that a lot of stuff. So it's like, okay, this is, you know, and something that just happens or whatever, and you know, it's like, okay, time to build. About a week and a half later, and 200 plus hours of work, map resets. Yeah, and apparently something about world corruption. So yeah, just in general, after that, and I pretty much stopped playing on their server. I just, and I more so went to single player, and though now I barely even play single player. So that's kind of my story, and on how this server came to be. If it wasn't for their server, and this server wouldn't exist. I could probably tell you that right now. And well, I am telling you that right now. There you go. So basically, I'd like to talk about what I'm doing to avoid the map. Oh darn it! I meant to make half slabs. The map resets and that plague other servers. For one, hardware failure, and I've heard has been the cause of servers and of having to reboot their map, and well, backups keep me covered there, and also I'm pretty confident in Beast Node, who is the hosting service that I'm using to host the server to keep it up 24/7. That everything will be, you know, that basically their hardware is like it will very rarely break, and even when it does, it's doubtful that me, out of the tons of customers they have, is gonna have a problem. So you know, but yeah. So basically, one thing that I see get blamed for map resets, probably the most definitely, is world corruption. For one, that's where the backups come in. For number two, there are decorruption tools out there. I do have to say they're pretty hard to find, but for one of them, and that I found when I was just looking into the subject, was Void Chunk. Last I checked, it's actually still in development build and crap, but it looks like it's a good decorruption tool. Like, just make sure you back up to your corrupted map before you try to decorrupt it, and you know, makes sense just in case it goes wrong, because it's all development and crap. But really, like, really, one thing that I've seen be the cause even is map size. Like, recent to the Elemental Animation server, yeah, going back to ranting on their server, and they were switching and server hosts, so they basically just strapped the map between the hosts, because it's like it's gonna take too long to download. The map could corrupt during download, And for one, even if you, I mean, I don't know, and maybe my internet's better than most people, and which could be the case, but for me, it's like, it was easy for me to set up, like, one night, and like, the server had like 5 backups that needed to be downloaded, which all totaled in like 3 gigabytes in total. Like 3.5 gigabytes. I set that up overnight, and when I woke up, it was all done. It's probably done end of halfway through the night. And yeah, so you know, it's one of those things where I feel it's like kind of like bullcrap. It's more so just laziness. And really, for the elemental animation server, I can kind of see where they're coming from. For one, making videos is their job, and like they gotta keep on that, and or else, you know, and because it's their job, they need a source of income, and that's how they make their money, and whatever is through YouTube and stuff. So I can see, I can kind of see where it comes from. It's like, you know, it's like, and their server's just not really, you know, it's a side thing and stuff. And recently I've heard it's only stayed up thanks to donators, which I feel it's not really worth anything much. I don't know. It's like, if you don't have a server owners that really care about their server, then yeah, just steer clear of it. Which I do care about my server, though. Really, when it comes to the player experience, just experience it. Just come on and experience it as a player, and you be the judge if my server or our server is any good. Really, personally, I like to think that I did a good job so far, but really, it's more so like, you know, it's like people will say it's a nice server, and it's like, wow, really? Thanks. You know, it's one of, I don't know, just awesome stuff. So yeah. Okay, I was getting way off track. So, let me tell you about a plugin that I hate, but I feel it's necessary for pretty much almost any, like, public server out there. And that is World Border. Now, don't get me wrong, as a plugin, World Border does exactly what it should do perfectly. I got no problems. It's not like it failed to run on me or gave me errors or anything. The problem I have with World Border is it's a border. But yet I'm using it. Like, I hate World Border, but yet I'm using it. And here's why. By limiting the map size, you literally limit the map size, like how much hard drive it will take up. Right now, I think the map is about, what is it, about like 1.5 gigabytes? And about 900 megabytes with the backup plugin, because the backup plugin actually zips up the files to save hard drive, which is really nice. But really, like, I hate World Border, but at the same time, I'm using it. And so, I mean, World Border as a plugin is an excellent plugin, but for what it stands for, I just don't like the idea of not being able to go on infinitely. And even my friend Evs, who is currently now a mod of on the server, even he doesn't like it. But even though he doesn't like it, he also understands why it's there. It's there to limit the map size, to make the backups easy, and also map size can contribute to how well, like, contribute to the server performance. So yeah, you know, it's like, really, it may not be something I like. I mean, definitely, I've already expressed that, but it's really, World Border is probably one of your most powerful tools for keeping your map forever. Like, that's a tip. Just, I hate it as much as everyone else, but really, I see why it's good, you know? It's like, personally, yeah, I really hate World Border, but as a plugin and for what it does and what it basically means is we can keep the same map for pretty much forever, because by limiting the map size, we basically it basically makes managing the server much easier in terms of backups. And hey, if we ever switch server hosts, then it'd make it easy because we'd only have to, you know, transfer a 2 GB map as opposed to maybe a 10 GB map or something. And yeah. So yeah, that's my whole view on the theme. I've gone all over the place on this topic. Oh my goodness, a lot of cutting out to do and crap, but hey, while I was talking stuff, we got all this done. So, iron. I got a home set up here. And let's see how that looks. Oh, there we go. And yeah, I'd have to say that definitely looks better. Much better. And it's a lot more smooth. Now I just need to get the underside and we'll all be good. So yeah, let's get to it. You know, that kind of leads into another topic, but I feel... Whoa, no. Oh my goodness, what the heck happened there? Half a heart. Oh my, what the heck? So, this is how the base looks now. I gotta say, now that it's all in place, looks miles better than before. And from down here, check it out. I say that looks pretty sweet, and it really makes my base stand out and look really awesome now. Before, it was definitely very rough around the edges, even from down here. But now, it definitely looks a lot smoother, cleaner, and definitely looks better. And I think I've already said that. And considering this is the star of the show, yeah, you know, it better look good. So, there we go. Now the exterior is probably for the most part done now. But there is one last thing I want to do in this episode before I end it off. So, let's go ahead and do that. So, let's go ahead and try some redstone lamps, because as I looked on the outside, it looked like, you know, it was a bit bare out there, like it needed something. And I'd have to say, redstone lamps to light up the outside of the base would be pretty darn cool. So, I'm gonna go ahead and place these on one side of the base, and basically to see exactly how it would look. And yeah, BRB. So here we got a nice side view of the lights. Unfortunately, since the roof is well lit, and it doesn't really look all that awesome, and because there's really no dark areas to what key up. I pressed F3. But let's go ahead and view this thing from the ground. I think that's where it's really gonna stand out. And yeah. And I'd have to say I kind of like that. And I think that's gonna look pretty cool. I don't know. I feel the redstone lamps are perhaps just a bit too close to each other. Yeah, because like some dark areas, sort of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I... Oh yeah, if we set it to moody, it gets really crazy. I really don't like moody, and so I prefer full bright. Well, it's technically not called full bright, it's called like brightest. Is it called? I don't know what it's called. I skipped over it. Brightness, bright. Okay, that's what it's called. There we go. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm gonna pretty much end off this episode here because this was a very talky episode, and yeah, it's already gonna be an editing nightmare as it is. Might as well not make it any harder on myself to try and get it under 20 minutes. So yeah, and if you enjoyed this episode, then be sure to nail down that like button and subscribe for more. And yeah, so in the next episode, I don't know exactly what we'll be doing, but I'm finish up installing the redstone lamps. I might even move them just a bit farther apart. And yeah, until next time, guys, see ya later. Bye.